The brutal truth: you're just lazy. Wake up, man. Let's be real. You've lost count of how many times you skipped studying just because you didn't feel like it. And now here you are, looking for a shortcut, a magic formula, something that will make studying effortless. Good news, there's a way. But the first thing you need to do is accept that your brain is wired to avoid effort. That's not your fault. But staying stuck in this weak excuse? Yeah, that's 100% on you. The truth is, your mind is a master manipulator. It loves convincing you that watching just one more episode, scrolling for 5 more minutes, or grabbing a snack before starting is essential. Spoiler alert, it's not. You're just training your brain to be weak, and while you're wasting time, someone else is out there studying and getting rich. Wake up. So, do you actually want to change? First step, stop acting like studying is optional. It's not. If you don't commit to sitting down and getting to work, you've already lost. And trust me, the world won't miss you. The market doesn't pay people who don't feel like it. It pays those who execute. 2. The motivation myth. Wait for it and you'll never do anything. If you're waiting to feel motivated before you start studying, congratulations. You'll never move forward. Motivation is overrated. Successful people don't study because they're motivated. They study because they decided that's what they're going to do. And here's the magic. Motivation comes from action, not the other way around. Your brain is a stubborn workhorse. If you don't control it, it will control you. So stop acting like a spoiled kid waiting for a push. You want a push? Here it is. If you don't change today, in 5 years, you'll be in the exact same place. And the worst part? You'll blame fate, the economy, the government. But the truth, it was your fault. So forget this nonsense of, I'm not feeling inspired today. Sit down, open the book, watch the lecture, grab a notebook, and start scribbling. The first page might suck, the first minute might feel awful, but by the second, third, fourth, you'll be in the zone. And that, my friend, is what separates amateurs from people who actually succeed in life. The anti-procrastination formula. No one talks about want to know a crazy trick that will make you study without even realizing it? Make not studying more painful than studying. How? Simple. Hold yourself accountable. Tell someone that if you don't study today, you'll send them $100. I dare you not to sit down and get to work immediately. Your brain is lazy, but it hates losing. Use that against it. Set up deals that hurt if you don't follow through. Another strategy? Turn your environment into a minefield against procrastination. Keep your books in sight, block social media on your phone, and eliminate distractions. Making failure harder is way more effective than forcing discipline. You don't need to be disciplined 100% of the time. You just need to make the path of procrastination so painful that studying becomes the easier option. And here's the crazy part. After a while, your brain adapts and studying becomes second nature. So, are you ready to flip the switch or keep playing the loser game? The beast mode tactic. Enter full immersion mode. Your biggest mistake? Trying to study like a zombie. If you want real focus, you need to activate your beast mode. Shut everything down, set a 90-minute timer, and go into full focus mode. Like your life depends on it. Because in a way it does. Use noise-canceling headphones and listen to instrumental music if needed. Put your phone far away and pretend it doesn't exist. At first, your brain will throw a tantrum like a spoiled kid. Ignore it. After a few minutes, it will give up and you'll enter the flow state. At that moment, you'll realize how ridiculous your old procrastinating self was. Studying isn't hard. What's hard is getting through the first 5 minutes without giving in to distractions. Conquer those 5 minutes and you win the battle. Simple as that. 5. Studying to get rich. The game few. People play. Have you ever stopped to think about why you're actually studying? If it's just to get a grade or impress others, forget it. That won't take you far. But if you understand that every minute spent studying can make you more money in the future, the whole game changes. Think like an investor. Every hour of study is an asset you're accumulating. The more you learn, the more valuable you become. While you're whining about how boring studying is, someone else is making money using basic knowledge that you ignore. So, if you think studying isn't worth it, it's time to rethink your priorities. Because at the end of the day, the ones who know more earn more, and the ones who slack off, they get left behind. 6. The minimal effort hack. Study like a hacker. If you study like everyone else, you're already losing. The secret is finding shortcuts, not the lazy kind, but the smart kind. Grab summaries instead of reading entire books, but learn how to find the right summaries. Use mind maps to condense huge amounts of content into just a few pages. Record yourself reading key points and listen to them in the shower, on the bus, at the gym. Want a pro tip? Use the 80-20 technique. 80% of results come from 20% of the effort. Identify the most important concepts and focus on them. Don't waste time memorizing irrelevant details you'll never use. Another hacker move? Study with practice questions before learning the material. Your brain will go into alert mode and absorb the information more efficiently because it's already been challenged. You stop being a passive learner and become a strategic thinker. The key isn't studying more, it's studying smarter. The market doesn't reward people who just work hard. It rewards people who work smart. Apply this to your studies and stop wasting time. The power of repetition and ruthless study tactics. Think studying something once is enough? Hate to break it to you, but your brain doesn't work that way. Repetition is the mother of mastery. If you don't review, you forget. Simple as that. Your brain discards everything it doesn't use. Now, want a brutal hack for this? Take the hardest content and repeat it until it sticks in your mind like gum on a shoe. Summarize it. Teach it to someone else. The Feynman technique is one of the biggest secrets of geniuses. Explain the concept as if you were teaching a 5-year-old. If you can't, you don't really understand it. Want to truly master a subject? Attack it from all angles. Read it, listen to it, write it down, teach it. Then do it again and again. Because weak students try to understand something once. Strong students repeat it until it's so deeply ingrained they can never forget it. 8. Your body is either your biggest ally or your worst enemy. If you eat garbage, sleep poorly, and drown yourself in caffeine thinking it'll save you, congrats, you're sabotaging your own brain. You can have the best study techniques in the world, but if your machine is broken, nothing will work. So start with the basics. Sleep 7 to 8 hours, drink water, eat real food. If possible, exercise. Not because you want to be a bodybuilder, but because it massively improves your cognitive function. Want a simple hack? A quick 15-minute workout before studying can boost your focus by up to 30%. You don't need more motivation, you need more energy. Your body is the engine of your productivity. Treat it like trash, and don't expect your brain to function at its best. 9. The first gear technique. How to beat the laziness of starting the hardest part of procrastination. Starting. Your brain looks at the task and thinks, this is gonna suck. The solution? Trick your own brain. Tell yourself you'll study for just 5 minutes. Yes, only 5. This removes the mental block of, I have to study for hours, and gets your mind in the game. Once you start, laziness disappears. That's the first gear trick. Your brain adapts to the task, and before you know it, you're fully immersed. This works for anything. Working out, reading, studying, working. The secret? Just start. You don't need motivation. You don't need inspiration. Just move. The rest will follow. 10. Use your environment to dominate your studies. Your environment dictates your success more than your willpower. If you study in bed, on the couch, or surrounded by distractions, congratulations, you lost before you even started. Want a game-changing hack? Create a sacred study space, a distraction-free zone where your brain knows it's time to focus. This conditions your mind so that every time you sit there, your focus kicks in automatically. And here's another trick, the 5-second rule. If something is more than 5 seconds away, you'll quit before you even start. So set everything up before you begin. Books, notebook, water, headphones. Your future millionaire self will thank you. 11. Why you need a war plan for studying. You want to study and be productive, but you act like an amateur. No plan, no strategy, no goal. How do you expect to win the game? You need a war plan. Before you start studying, know exactly what you're going to do. Never sit down clueless, waiting for motivation to hit. That's a losing strategy. Create a clear task list. Break your study sessions into chunks. Set deadlines. And here's another insane hack. At the end of every study session, write down the first thing you'll do tomorrow. This kills inertia and gets you back in the game instantly. Planning is what separates geniuses from mediocres. 12. The supreme law. Studying is a means, not an end. Why are you studying? To pass a test? To get a job? To impress someone? If that's your only reason, you won't last. Studying needs to be a tool for something bigger. Think big. Learning something new can make you more money, open doors, and change your life. But if you see studying as torture, you're doing it wrong. The key is falling in love with the process. Apply what you learn in real life. Test your skills. Turn knowledge into money. And if none of this motivates you, let me tell you this. Study anyway. Because the world doesn't care about people who know nothing. And the market? It eats the weak alive and rewards the prepared. So are you really going to change now? Sure. Just like you said you'd start eating healthy last year. Just like you swore you'd wake up early and be productive. Just like you keep lying to yourself before going back to your usual routine of doing absolutely nothing. Face it, you're addicted to failure. You don't really want to win. You just want to feel like you're trying without putting in the real effort. And that's why you'll keep losing. That's why 5 years from now, you'll be sitting in the same spot, watching another video like this, nodding your head, pretending you're finally going to change, but you won't. And you know what? Maybe that's okay. Maybe you were born to be mediocre. Maybe success is for other people, for those with discipline, who don't crumble at the first sign of effort. So go ahead, close this video, go back to your distractions, Go back to your excuses. The world needs losers just as much as it needs winners. The only question is, which side are you on?